God's gift through His word. It's God's gift through His word. It's God's gift through His word. It's God's gift through His word.
All right. Hello, everyone. How are you guys doing? Hello. Okay, so these birds out here are loud. Like, I'm telling you, loud. And on top of that, I forgot to bring my tripod because I was like, oh, I'm just going to go work out. I'm not going to do a live. I'm not going to do a podcast. I'm not going to do anything. Well, being as spontaneous as I am, it's like, oh, I think I need to do a message. Well, I should have brought my stuff and I totally did it. So it's like, whatever. And these birds over here, I was going to record where I normally record, and there's a different Ramada. They have different Ramadas. This is Ramada 1, and this is Ramada 2. I normally record a Ramada 2. There's somebody over there. So, like, So I couldn't go there. I was like, this is the best that I can do. But it's fine. Well, we'll make it work. But anyway, I have my water bottle holding this up. So I'm like makeshift. So see, water bottle holding it up. So if it looks like it's not normally as high as it could be because I didn't bring my tripod, but it's okay. But I might walk and talk with you guys because these birds are. It's like the louder I'm talking, they're getting louder. Like chirp, chirp, chirp. It's like a whole tree of them. So I might have to go walk and talk with you guys, which I think I'm going to do right now with my shades on, and go do that because they are doing the most. I don't know why they're doing the most, but they're doing the most. So let me get myself together because we're going to do a little workout in heart showing, guys. So I'm still going to do that. These birds, man, dang. Listen, these birds are they are doing a thing. So I don't know. But okay, well, my plan for sitting down was not it. These birds, they in this I think they're throwing stuff at me. It's like, get out of here. Get out of here. Crazy birds. Sometimes I think birds would just want to give me business because I have like pigeons that don't listen and tell them to get away from my home. And all they do is like try to fly up. I think they're like thug gangster pigeons. Well, anyway, birds are what birds do. So I'm going to turn around and hopefully you guys can see. No, you can't. Well, maybe you could see. I don't know. It's too bright to see it, but the fountain, because I always like looking at the fountain because it's so relaxing. So I guess I'll just take another walk. And look at the sky, so blue, you guys. Look at that. Sky so blue. It's a very blue, very bright, sunshiny day. Like, how can you be sad and complaining? And some people do complain, but like, no, I'm not going to complain on this very beautiful, lovely, like super gorgeous day. Like, it can't get any more gorgeous than that. That's a picturesque day right there. Just snip, snap. Like, that's a postcard. Okay. Anyway, I was thinking earlier, and as I was walking, and now I'm going to walk again because the birds are trying to dominate my life. But I was thinking earlier that when Pastor Jay had shared something, and if you guys don't know who Pastor Jay is, go check him out on Walk in Truth TV for the podcast, and of course his well, that's for YouTube, and then his podcast is Walk in Truth Radio Network. So check out his stuff. But he was sharing the other day about getting down and dirty with discipleship, and I was just thinking and pondering. And sometimes we don't appreciate, and not just his message, but sometimes we don't appreciate the people that put out and are friends to us. Sometimes we don't appreciate that. And I'm only saying that because I used to be one of those people that didn't appreciate my friends, the friends I used to have. There were some that are like, oh, they'll always be here. But that's not true, right? And I'm only sharing about his message because I appreciate that he takes the time to share that. It's not an easy thing to, as content creators, and he's a pastor and a content creator. it's not easy to labor and take the time to put out energy and expel it and put it out, and then nobody pays attention to it. It takes a lot. And for him to do that consistently on a regular basis and some people not take, don't care, it can be a little bit discouraging. It can be. But then there's other people like myself and others around everywhere that actually do pay attention and watch and reflect and think, and those things that can make us better believers, better Christians, better followers of Christ, better ambassadors for the Lord in general. To be out here and really walking that walk of faith and really putting our foot out there to assist and help and show people the way to Christ. It's a hard thing. I'll take this off for a little bit. It's a hard thing when you think I want to help someone and I want to showcase and share, but your sharing is just like, am I doing this in vain? Am I doing this? Is it not worth what I'm doing? Is this worth my time? And I'm going to tell you, if you're one of those people that are sharing and you're doing and you're wondering if it is worth your time, it absolutely is, because somebody somewhere needs exactly what you're providing, and it doesn't matter who says they don't care and they don't need it. Somebody does. And for me, I've been trying to do this whole dating thing, which has been weird. And it doesn't really work out a lot of times because some of these people, and it's the men that I'm dealing with, of course, but some of them have different motives, different agendas, different things. And I'm just like, I'm like, no, we're not going to get along. We're not going to do anything when it comes to talking and asking them about the Lord. And one person says, "Oh yeah, I believe in God." I was like, "Okay, do you believe in Lord Jesus Christ?" "Oh, of course I do, but I'm Catholic." I'm like, well, and I was like, I don't want to, I want to get into all of the, the just jumping into it. Sometimes I want to, and it's like, no, this is not the door I want to open and explain certain things. I was just like, no, I would just rather not. And especially when I see Jehovah's Witnesses and some, what is it, elders from the Mormon Latter Day Church of Christ, I'm like, no, I don't feel like getting in it. And I know I'm not an apologist, so I know that's not my lane. I know I need to know certain things, and I try to learn as much as I can to know when that time does come that you do have to be able to, of course, defend the faith when the time comes. But if I don't have to in a certain situation and the Lord's not calling me like, hey, go over there and do that, and there's no discipleship happening with that, I don't think that for me, I personally need to go over there and say, hey, this is what's going on. You could say it gently, you could say it in love, but sometimes if that's not what you're called to do, you just don't need to go do it. And unless the Lord brings someone specifically to me in my line of sight or whatever I'm doing, and then we're going to have a conversation and it's just that person and myself, then I can see that. And one of the things Pastor Jay and I talk about, because we talk a lot of good things, and one of the things he was reminding me about when Jesus was doing his ministry on this earth, it was totally about relationships. And one of those things that we can't just discredit is trying not to have a relationship with a person and try to have something manufactured and trying to microwave it. That's not a relationship. That's not going to work. That's not going to help in discipleship. That's not going to help in evangelism. It's not going to help in anything, because the relationship is taking the time to understand that person, taking the time to build, taking the time to grow, taking the time to care about that person for whatever they're going through. And not be like, oh, well, it's all about me. No, it's about them. And just like the word says, to not think of yourself higher than you ought, and think about other people more than you think about yourself. When you think and put people in a position like, what can I do for them? How can I serve them? Can I go and visit? Can I call? Can I text? Is there something that I can do on my part to make someone's life feel like they're seen, like they're heard, like they're known? And if you do that and you take the time to genuinely do that, relationship building with people won't be so challenging. But when you don't, and all you want to do is just think about yourself, you then become this selfish person. So how can you ever be that ambassador for Christ if you're just all about yourself? That's not relationship. That's not what we're called to do. So when I was thinking about what Pastor Jay had shared, I was like, I have to reflect on that because I want to be the best version of myself to other people everywhere and not just, oh, it's just about me. I can't be like that. And I'm hoping that if you're listening and maybe you go back and listen to Walk of Truth TV on YouTube and hear the message about discipleship and it takes you getting dirty, are you willing to get involved? Are you that person that says, you know what, I can help. I can check on this person. I'm willing to be involved and not just, which is a sad thing. Like even with the church I go to sometimes, people will just ignore you and pass you. And it's sad, but it is what it is, I guess, because we are people and people will do that. You want to be loving, but sometimes people are only loving to the people that they know and they don't want to love on anybody else, which, it's like us. And what did Pastor Jay say? Us four, no more, shut the door. And it's kind of like that when you go to certain places. And there's nothing wrong with cliques as long as the cliques are loving and not like, okay, well, you can't be in our group and we are over here and we do this. And sometimes you feel like that. And there's like a section and segmentation in certain churches where there's a group of people and they just stick to themselves, not saying friends and stuff, but when everybody comes, I'm a little greeter at my church and I say hello to everyone. Even those that don't say hi to me, I was like, hello. I'll walk right past you like they don't see you, but it's okay. I mean, I'm not here to judge anyone, not like that, but I do my part and I will still say good morning. Eventually, if it would continue to happen. I remember there was a gentleman that would always walk past me all the time. And I would say good morning all the time. I would say good morning over and over and over again. But after a while, I just said, well, why am I saying good morning when he's clearly just walking past me all the time? So I just stopped. And when I stopped, he started saying good morning to me. I was like, oh, okay, well, good morning. So good morning. So I didn't want to continue to just say good morning over and over and just be ignored like I'm just a doorstop. So, sometimes you have to just realize when it's time for you to stop doing something and not just continue. Like you're a greeter, you're supposed to do that. And I will still greet. But then there's some people like purposely like, okay, I kind of need to just button it up and say good morning to others. But I don't feel a kind of way. It's just, if you're going to be ignored like a whole tree, and it's like trees don't move, they don't go anywhere. And I remember Jim Rohn said, if you don't like your life or whatever, you can change it. You're not a tree. And I love that what he says. You're not a tree. You can move, you can do whatever. You don't like your job, you can change it. You don't like a certain group of people, you don't have to be around them. You can change it. There's some things that we do have a choice in the matter. There are some things that we can change. There are some things that we do have responsibility for. And the Lord's not sitting there like, hey, you need to do this. You need to go over here. There's certain things that he gives us free will and we have the responsibility and the liberty to do, which he gives us the grace and to move in certain things for our own lives. But at the same time, we also have to be very mindful and careful as to what we're doing and not be that person says, well, I guess I have to stay here because I'm just stuck like a truck and I can't leave. I can't move. We're not made like that. The Lord has given us, he's given us more than we know. And sometimes we don't use what he's given us. And when we let things like fear overpower us, and then we start trying to be people pleasers, and let me tell you, people pleasing, that is something from the flight and fight and freeze. That people pleasing is actually underneath the new part that's called fawn. And if you've ever gone through any type of abuse, that's where that can come from. Now, some people don't understand why that is. Well, people pleasing when you're in a certain situation, like say for me, domestic violence, I used to be a people pleaser too, a very big one, because I was trying to keep myself safe, try to do whatever I had to do to please that person, appease that person, so that there'd be no more ruckus, so there'd be no more angst, there'd be no more fighting, there'd be no more harmful stuff to me. So whatever I had to do to please the person that I thought, well, okay, if I do this, then perhaps it will stop them from messing with me. Perhaps this will make them, want to change or stop or whatever the behavior I was trying to think that I had control over to push to stop, it didn't really change the person. It didn't really stop them. My ex-husband didn't stop. He just continued to do more. So for me, that's where that people pleasing came from. Some people don't realize that's where that comes from. And it does. Now, it could come from somewhere else as well. I'm not saying that's the only place, but I know there's a lot of it that does come from if you've been in any kind of abusive situation, whether it's verbal, whether it's physical, mental, psychological, digital, whatever. If there's ever been some kind of traumatic trauma, something toxic, some kind of abuse that's been in your life from somewhere, whether it's your childhood, whether it's your adulthood, whether it's your youth, wherever it has been, and it has laid hold of you and it has been able to be in your life by some means, there is people pleasing. And it's not like you can't change that, but it takes some courage and it takes some strength to start setting up boundaries for you. And when somebody asks you to do something, no, I can't. And that's okay. And the other person, whoever it is, whether it's a friend, family member, should understand that boundary and not force you to do things you don't want to do. So that's one of those things where people pleasing doesn't always necessarily come because this person doesn't have a backbone. This person is just a weak person. There's some things that have been in people's past and they're trying to deal with it. And that's how they became a people pleaser. So I just wanted to share on today as I was working out and finishing up. So this will be my end of my walk with you guys because it's just been it's been a unique time for me. I feel like the Lord is rebuilding my life. He's rebuilding it, renewing it, re-energizing it, helping me to get a refreshing. It's just a whole bunch of these building my life back better and things that were decimated and annihilated and just broken apart and just really just trashed. He's rebuilding it and he's rebuilding it the way he wants to, and I'm just I'm just in a place of gratitude and I'm just super thankful, very, very much. I'm thankful to him. Sorry, you guys. Something came on my phone. I'm trying to get it out the way, but I'm just thankful to him for all of those things. And I don't know if you're going through something like that. I just want to encourage you. Don't let anybody anywhere just stop you and say you can't do this, you can't do that. And if you find yourself saying, "Well, I am that people pleaser," know that it can change. Know that you can change. You can do it. It will happen, and it can happen. It took me a long, long time. So I'm not saying something that I read in a book. I'm saying because I've gone through it, and sometimes people pleasers like yes, and my one thing was, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry." And sometimes I catch myself doing that and I have to collect myself and like, "Oh my goodness, find another word," because that's what I used to do because I always think everything was my fault, even though the person that was causing me harm was the one inflicting a lot of it. And I was like, "Oh, it must be me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry." But it wasn't that I needed to be sorry, is I'm trying to avoid the pain. I'm trying to avoid that. And going through all of that, it was a hard, hard process. You never know when someone says to go to jail for assault, how serious that could really be until they're looking at you dead in your face and like, listen, anytime you want to get up, I'm ready to strangle you. I'm ready to kill you with my bare hands. And I'm like, no. And just to know that for me, when I had called the domestic violence hotline a long time ago, and the lady's like, "Wow, what can you tell me what type of domestic violence? What type was your situation?" And I told her all the things. I said, "Well, the last part was strangulation." And she's like, "Okay, that's like the highest one because that person wants to actually watch life leave your body. Like all the other ones that are also dangerous as well, that person has no problem with removing you out of this life. And I know that I'll be called home to glory one day, but I want the Lord to take me home. I don't want to go home prematurely by the hands of some other person. I don't want that. I want the Lord to call me home when He wants to, not prematurely doing it. So when the Lord helped me to escape, I'm telling you, life and death with me for leaving, I was like, okay, if I don't and I try to make this work, I know I would be in a body bag. So for some people like, oh, you might, like my brother would say, you just want to be the poster child for domestic violence. No, but there are women, there are men, there are people that are going through this situation, and they need to know that they can come out of it. They need to know that they can do it. They need to know. And if I sit there and just be silent and just be quiet, then some people don't even get to experience it. They don't get to know. So that's my thing. And that's what I was pushing the encouragement and the inspiration of finding God's love, the gift to find God's love, guilt and shame turned into my shine. I had so much guilt and I had so much shame and I didn't want to speak about it. I don't want to have that. But if that guilt and shame has been turned into my shine, I can stand up higher, stronger, because I know the Lord has done it and I'm standing because the Lord Jesus did it. It's not me. I didn't do it. He did. So I just wanted to encourage you on today. If you find yourself going through anything that's just hard, difficult, and you're finding yourself in a season of maybe you're angry and you're sad and you're just going through a lot, just understand that the Lord is there. He's right there with you. You may not feel it. It may not feel like he's there, but he trusts and believe he's there in your darkest moments of the blackest midnight black moment. He's there. So you just got to trust him and walk that thing out. And I know it can be challenging, it can be hard. Like T Drake, you don't understand. This ain't easy. This is ridiculous. These people are giving me the business. I have a neighbor that's just being annoying. I got friends, I got family that they're just going 1,000 on me. And I'm trying, but I'm tired. I'm exhausted. This is hard. I get it. It can be like there are parts of our life that can be very, very trying and very, very difficult. But guess what? The Lord is there. He's close to you. He's there. Trust and believe he's there. If you don't believe anything else, believe that the Lord is there and he knows, he sees, and he's going to help you and he will. He helped me. So I know he will because God is so good. He's not a man that he should lie. Just keep pressing, just keep moving, just keep growing, and just stay encouraged while you're enduring and persevering through your journey, whatever that looks like. So I hope once again you'll vote for me for Supermom for 2025. If, excuse me, if you haven't cast your vote, I'm getting rambunctious out here, like Maddie Bo was saying. But if you haven't cast your vote, please cast your vote for me. And I did put the link in the description. And if you see it on Facebook, go ahead and send a vote. Just submit one. You don't have to pay. There's votes where you can submit payment if you want to help me, but that money doesn't go to me either. So just want you to know that money is going to the Children's Miracle Network. So that's a different nonprofit. But if you want to support that along with helping your girl here, it would be greatly appreciated. So let's help that network. Let's help that nonprofit. And you can help your girl too. So right now, you just cast a little free vote. And if you do it every day, I have 2 days left before they cut off this phase because I don't know how many phases there are. I don't know if there's 3 or 4, but it goes by phases. So phase one's about to cut out on the 17th. So I have 2 more days. So please, 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 if you haven't put in your free vote today, please do. I hope that you will. And a big shout out to my friend Stephanie for going with me to my photo shoot. It was just a thing that sometimes you need someone there just as a nice motivator and just someone who believes in the things that you're doing and is just a sweet spirit. And I believe she's just a sweet, 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 sweet friend to me. And sometimes we don't get to hang out as much, and I want to do that more. But I want to thank her, Miss Stephanie. You know who you are. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for just being there. And like I said before, when you have friends in your life, cherish them because you don't know how long the Lord gives you with them. You don't know if the Lord's going to move them to another state. You don't know if the Lord's going to take them into another place, into another country. You just don't know what's going to happen, or he calls them home. You just don't know. So whatever friends you have, and if you're really, really close with your family members, then cherish those. Some people like myself don't have family members that I can cherish. I have one, my grandmother, who I love dearly, who turned 97 this year in March, and she's still here. The Lord still has work for her to do. And I pray one day that the Lord allow me to, be blessed to see the longevity of 97. But that's a blessing in itself that my grandma is still here. And an immigrant from Jamaica brought all my family members over here. And of course, I'm half Jamaican. So, without her as the matriarch doing what she had to do and coming from Jamaica to go to London to finally touch down in America, then my family wouldn't be here. My kids that I have wouldn't be here. Like none of it would be a thing if my grandmother didn't do what she did. So I appreciate her. And like I said, cherish those that are in your life. And if you haven't checked out Walk in Truth TV. Please do that and check out Walk in Truth Radio Network. And I also had another podcast episode that came out like Your Time Is Now. If you haven't checked that out, please go out and check it out as well. Share it, like it, subscribe, leave a comment because I definitely like to hear when you comment. So it's also on YouTube. It's also, I believe it's on LinkedIn and Facebook. I don't know, but if it's not on one of those, I'll post it where it's not. But I try to get it on all the social media platforms and try to rotate it. So it might be on two YouTubes, one Facebook, maybe one Facebook, one YouTube, and then LinkedIn. But whatever it is, I try to just make sure I get it out there. So please share it. Please like and subscribe and leave a comment. And if you like the book, the audiobook, please get the audiobook and leave a comment as well. And I will let you guys know when I'm having my next book signings because those things are going to be coming up too. So you guys take care. Remember, I love you with the love of the Lord Jesus Christ. And I want you to be blessed, motivated, and always inspired to do what the Lord lays on your heart. A big kiss to me to you. You guys take care. And don't forget, vote for me for Supermom. Take care. God bless your hearts. Thank you for tuning in and thank you for listening. Bye now.
God's gift.